Charles Handegriff along with Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro with us today, and Jordan Kitchens back in the studio. Troy Macker with us today. Bruce Marshall with us today. Got a real cool event that we're going to tomorrow. We get to some crawfish. We'll be telling you about that. And, lots of rain.
St. John Vianney's dad's club. I did it last year, Charlie. You didn't make it last year.
I was out of town last year, but I'm going tomorrow. Looking forward to
crawfish boil contest, and about 15, 60, highly organized, really good stuff. Great group of guys, man. It was but just to let people know, we'll give them information on what to get their tickets and all that. It's a great deal, and for a great cause, but also just highly organized, man. It was put together really good. If I'm in town, I'm in, and so catch me right before Derby weekend and the BetMGM golf tournament. So yes, I got to carry this guy. Doesn't play much, but we'll try and see if he can dust off his clubs. Max, you ready? I'm in for the social. Okay,
as ready as I can be.
I know there's a lot of pressure on me. I'll hit the short irons in the putter. Okay.
Let's hope I can pull off a Keith Mitchell round or something.
Well, you were Keith Mitchell at what was it, at the Island? You led the tournament after the first round, and
I was second
and collapsed on Sunday.
Oh, he was just ragged, Keith Mitchell. So that stings.
Couldn't close, man. Couldn't close.
Have you ever seen a horse racing term applied to golf? I had to call Mahoney. He's called Birdie Bob Mahoney.
Yeah,
I mean, he plays so much golf. He's, his wife is dealing with some health issues, so he's not on the golf course as much. I mean, but anyway, I said, and he loves horse racing. I mean, he's my guy. We got cheap speed. I mean, this guy's not a horse, Charlie.
I know
he's not a horse. But how many golfers participate in the average PGA event? 160?
This week it's 80, but most of them it's 150.
150. Like okay. His last 5 events, not including Zurich, that's a team event. After the end of the first round, first, second, first. Where's he finished?
Outside the top 20.
Outside the top 20 every time. I mean, this horse, he's got the lead at the top of the stretch, and he fades every day. Charlie, golfing's not horse racing, though. Wow, what's going on here? 50-1, by the way.
If every day was Thursday, he'd be Tiger Woods.
What does he do? Does he go full spring break, full mode? I mean, every Thursday night, this guy just who knows what he's getting into. He needs a caretaker on Thursday night.
He shot 61 yesterday.
Well, he's averaging 64 the last. Charlie, first, second, first. What's the ROI on that?
I was trying to figure that out because even if you could do first, you can do top 5 after the first round. I mean, he's been doing that even before then, even longer than that. So, I mean, his ROI is incredible. I don't know exactly the number. I'll try to look it up. But
so if you bet 100 on the 5 top 5s, you've got to be up 10,000.
Yeah.
If you're betting just to be the first round leader, now it's going down to 50. What was it before he went on this run? I mean, probably 75, 100 to 1.
In a field like this, he would have been 80 to 1. Yeah.
So 80. Charlie.
He's holding up a little bit better today. He's 3 under par through 15.
Live favorite right now. If you don't believe in him,
he's a favorite.
He's playing well. He's 5-1. He's got a 2-shot lead.
Come on. How many times we got to see this guy? He's not winning this.
I agree with you.
Are you kidding me?
So you got JT at value. You got Rory at value. If you like one of them, I guess.
Shane Lowry, right there.
Sure.
Where's
2 shots off the lead. 2 shots off the lead.
He's 5th choice right now, plus 850. He is 2 back, 10 under.
Where's X-Man?
Xander's a little ways back. He's kind of stuck in neutral today. He's 4 under through 13 for the tournament.
Yeah, tied for 32nd.
Draymond Green says he's victimized. Charlie, what's one of our pet peeves? I found it.
We got a lot of them.
Okay, I know. All right, but okay, instant replay is it kills the flow of the game.
Yeah,
instant replay has killed Draymond Green because they don't care about intent. You did it or you didn't.
Yeah.
No, this isn't. No, okay, boom. Yeah, this is. Here's your technical. Okay, here's your technical. I mean, this is you hit the guy in the face. No, we don't care. And sometimes, how many times is it called in live action? There are a few. Sure. This is a great thing, and he is. It just the act is so. And I'm going to have to listen to this guy because they're going to put him on one of the studio shows. You know it.
Sure.
They've already done it.
Well,
I mean, I'm going to have to listen to this guy and give me like he's going to analyze common sense and basketball IQ for me. Man, give me a break. This is. I'm detesting the day when I got to sit there and watch him in the studio.
He's going to give you a strong opinion, which is all they want. It doesn't matter whether they agree with it or not. That makes for good television. If he gives a strong opinion on something, then you don't want somebody up there just kind of straddling the line. That's why Barkley's so good. He's going, whether you agree with him or not, he's going to give you a strong opinion. I think Green will give you a strong opinion. Now
he's a dirty player, Charlie.
No argument.
He's a dirty player,
no
and
argument.
I mean, and he's he's out of his mind. I mean, but he's. What's Golden State? What would you describe their style of play in their all of their their 10 years or so success?
Up tempo, great shooting,
highly skilled, ultra finesse. So he's that goon. He's our enforcer, and I get that. But leave it at that, dude. I mean, Izzo teaches toughness, not dirty.
Right, and
he's dirty.
He is.
It's not even close.
At his best, he is an excellent rebounder and an excellent defender. He's lost a step, but he's always been a good rebounder, a good defender. He understands angles and everything.
Without him,
all of that is good, but there's a dirty element to it too. There's no question about that.
Well, to turn it on and turn it off on the court is one thing too. But the other thing is they should have tossed him last night. I mean, here's another one. Go swim upstream. You got to take off for the US officials. I'm sorry. I mean, these guys. Something bad is coming. Mark it down. Something bad is coming with these guys in these officials' face, as bad as it is.
The league goes out of their way in every sport to protect their officials. You
think he was protected last night with Draymond's in his face?
That's what I'm getting to. That's as close as you're ever going to get to there being a physical altercation with one of these guys, because the penalties are usually very severe. Even if you just graze them lightly, you get thrown out of the game. Okay,
you in his face and barking like
that's
that.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not physically touching, but
I want to see what the league is going to say about this, because they usually, if you bump an official, even if it's inadvertently, you get thrown out of the game.
Well, guess what? I can tell you what they're going to do. Nothing.
I'm not so sure about that.
Put it down. Nothing, because
you don't think he's going to get fined?
Nothing.
Okay, I think he's going to get fined. I don't think he's going to get suspended. But
he's done this over and over.
Last night I thought was a little bit further than where he usually goes. But
okay. But want to bet?
I'll
take nothing.
We don't gamble, but I'll take that the league's going to send him an invoice.
Okay. All right.
On this.
All right.
We'll see.
The next time we're out somewhere up here.
Okay.
So, we'll see.
We never go to lunch together. You watched the baseball last night?
I watched the Phillies come from 5-1 down and win that one for me. I watched the Blue Jays, and this time I hedged at plus 10-1, but I want to get to the other side of hedging because it was a bad night for the hedge middling last night, okay, which I did. I mean, I got to be fair. When I tell you, we hedge all these times in the Boston collapse, well, we certainly hedged last night. And when 97% of the game is played between 7 and 22, and of course it calls 25, and you got middles from minus 10.5 to plus 20.5. I mean, great chance for a middle, but no. Golden State's B team or JV got beat by Minnesota's JV in the last 5 minutes of that game. But the baseball, yes. Last night, you scratch your ace. So Dutton, I mean, that's too much. I got as much as plus 360. And, yeah, you know what that value got me, huh?
Nothing.
24-2.
Same thing it got me because it got all the way. I got it at 435. Just a little small,
plus
435.
Oh my goodness!
No, I'm sorry.
I bet it right before the game started.
No, they were minus 435. I'm sorry, Auburn was minus 435.
Okay.
No,
all right.
No, I think I got it plus 300, plead 310, something like that, coming back the other way. But the last 4 games for South Carolina, they have been outscored 54-5. I mean, it really did look last night like they are ready to put the gear away for
they're fading without a doubt. And this is a game that Auburn did not throw their ace and
Right,
saved it for Friday. It's a normal Friday spot.
Yeah, and they're going to play 2 today because
And the line was out based on he was
Sam
starting.
Dutton starting.
Yes.
Yeah, they threw basically an opener. He's going 2. He went 2 innings and he went 4 innings. He got to 5 last night. He was pitching with a lead, obviously.
Ole Miss has got to be kicking themselves, huh?
Yeah, definitely
Losing 2 out of 3 in Columbia
for sure. I was surprised, obviously, at the margin. You don't think anybody's ever going to beat 24-2, and a couple of 2 of those games in that stretch have been run rule shortened. And I just bring it up because LSU plays them next week, and
also Paul Maneri's there,
and of course, and Paul Maneri's there. And we talked a little bit yesterday. He was asked about his job security yesterday. The AD Ray Tanner is not there anymore, so he's working for somebody else. Is it going to be a one and done situation for him? Don't know, but LSU is going to need some of those games next weekend. I'm not saying they got to go over there and sweep. Depends on what they do with Arkansas this weekend, but it's going to be really important.
It's in. That's one way to put it, but the other thing is they can't afford to lose those games. So they're not going to get a whole lot of bump for beating South Carolina at this point. South Carolina's RPI and it's got to be.
It's gone down to they're a Q2 now.
It's got to be buried.
It's underneath 60.
So and I had a South Carolina plus 2.5 run bet. I said, man, Florida. Okay, I mean, they're at home. I mean, they just beat Ole Miss not too long ago, and it was not competitive.
No,
I mean it was. So they had the delay. They suspended the game. It was 1-0 in the 3rd inning, and they suspended the Saturday game to Sunday. And it's like 5-3 at one point, and then it was next thing you know, the score was 18-3, and then the second one was another. You said those scores was composite score for the 3 games.
Yeah,
2 of the 3 are 7 in the games.
Right, they shortened them. They scored 5 in the second, 7 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, 9 in the 5th. Yikes!
Yeah. Oh, it was bombs away too, Jack.
Yikes! They're going to play 2 today to steer around the rain at Auburn. The first game's at 2:00. Dutton is pitching in that game. So,
don't you feel sorry for Draymond? He's misunderstood.
No, sympathy is not a word that comes to mind when I think about Draymond Green.
No. Oh, we're at Ruffino's Mother's Day, huh? If you're looking for reservation Sunday, too late. Okay. But anyway, we might have something for you tonight or tomorrow night. Hot crab dip is one of our appetizer features today with the lump crab meat, blended cheeses, and crostinis. Charlie, what's a crostini?
I don't know.
It's kind of a sliced piece of French bread, like toasted. It's a crostini. Yes, there you go. Seafood cannelloni, Gulf shrimp with the blue crab meat, our Louisiana blue crab meat, Louisiana crawfish topped with a vodka tomato cream sauce. Entree features, we all love crab on crab. Soft shell crab, fried soft shell crab with the jump lumbo crab meat on top with lemon butter sauce, asparagus on the side, capellini with vodka tomato cream sauce, a suggested wine pairing, a Bayou Chardonnay, not Peru, where Prevost is is archdiocese. Charlie,
White Sox fan.
Three. Yeah, he hates the Cubs. Cubs are screwed.
His mom likes the Cubs.
And Jay Wright's coming back. Jay Wright is coming back.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, because when you have a funeral in lieu of flowers, well, Pope Prevost, he said, in lieu of contributions to the Vatican, NIL to Villanova. So anyway, suggested wine pairing, the Bayou, not Peru, Chardonnay from Napa. The short ribs, this is what we were serving at the Zurich. Our signature short ribs here at Rafino's, braised beef short ribs, the Marchand de Vin, mashed potatoes served with broccolini, suggested wine pairing. Gotta love a good duck horn Cabernet out of Napa as well. And our dessert feature for the Mother's Day weekend, chocolate pot de creme, whipped hazelnut creme. So how about that? We're getting fancy. Chef Patrick, go ahead. Patrick was down there at the Zurich, making sure the short ribs were prepared. Cheap speed. Macero plays golf. He's a little spicy. He's excited right now about his Celtics.
Oh,
he told us they couldn't win last year. Well, you didn't. Now he wants to say this year.
I can imagine
we got to get to
going to
him.
be like that. Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here, and we got a massive weekend on deck, okay? Maybe you're going to be hosting some sort of watch draft party. Maybe you're fired up for the massive series in the box. Either way, what you need to get ready for the weekend is at Rouse's, Louisiana, from the original Brick Up. Okay, nobody understands Louisiana fandom better. So all your drinks, all your supplies, all your food, and you can buy this food, the platters ready to go, or you can put them together yourself. It's Friday, which means they have their seafood hot plates, $9.99 for a styrofoam box that you can stuff full of the most delicious seafood you can imagine, okay? And if you want some crawfish, it's a perfect day for it. You can buy and burl them yourself. Just get into Rouse's and let's have ourselves a weekend. Remember, Rouse's Supermarkets, Louisiana, from the original Brick Up.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Blue Bonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Patial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Show's available on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. Handycast up on YouTube right now.
All right, guy, that's ahead of his time, huh? Told us Celtics couldn't win it last year. Now they're having problems, huh? Just ahead of your time. Macero, Celtics, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, if you have the cakewalk of all cakewalks like they had last year, playoff Jimmy was hurt against Miami. And by the way, nice to be joining you guys today. Beautiful Friday.
Just jumped right in
Mother's
deep
Day.
into the pool.
Yeah. Mother's Day is coming up. The flowers are in bloom. It's springtime. Everyone's happy. But listen, playoff Jimmy last year was injured. Then they had Mitchell was hurt. He played the first game of the series. Then Indiana series, Halliburton was hurt. Then they played the 6th seed from the West. They didn't even they didn't go up against Denver or OKC or even Minnesota. Remember at the conference finals, Minnesota was actually the favorite to win the title. So they didn't face any of those obstacles. They didn't face the probably the three biggest killers against you. Mitchell, absolute assassin. Halliburton, you saw what he did the other night. How about that stat? 1,640 games since 1997 and 1998, where a team trailing by 7 points or more with 30 seconds to go. Only one occurrence over that entire time span as a team come back, and Indiana does it twice in 10 days. Absolutely incredible. So, anyways, Celtics didn't face any of those teams. Granted, they faced Luka, but it was a weak Dallas team. So this team really isn't as good as everyone is anointing them. And the true colors of Jason Tatum are kind of showing up. The guy is a very nervous wreck. I mean, you could see it. The first possession of the game, he had a wide open step into a three. He passes it to Horford. They fumble it around. They refuse to just take a layup. If there's a layup, they refuse to take it. They have to kick it out for this asinine type of basketball. And I blame Tatum a lot, but the number one cause and the biggest argument everyone's having in Boston right now is this Joe Mazzulla, because he is just either too stubborn or just not a smart human, because he refuses. And I mean, in the press conference are more painful than actually watching him coach. The press conferences are just extremely painful. He refused to call a timeout to get Pritchard back on the court the other night. He's got Al Horford out there, a useless player on offense. I don't know where to go with this team. And somehow, some way, they're favored to win the series. So give me your guys' thoughts on that. I don't know.
Okay, first of all, you have to play it. I don't care, 100, 500, 1,000. You have to play it. Who you putting your money on right now to win the series, New York or Boston?
I would go with the Knicks, because I don't think the Celtics are going to be able to win 4 out of 5 with the way they're playing basketball. Porzingis is a shell of himself. Jaylen Brown, he can't shoot, can't dribble with his left hand. Tatum looks. I don't understand how a superstar player of his caliber, already won the title, got that monkey off his back, wants to be the face of the league, worships Kobe Bryant. How a guy could only get to the free throw line 2 times in a must-win game, and the 2 free throws in the last 2 minutes of the game the other night. He only made 5 baskets, and only 2 of them were actual shots. 3 of them were dunks. One was on that second to last possession where he just drove down and no one stopped him. And what does Mazzulla do? He goes, just run the same play. Obviously, that wasn't going to work. It was just he was trying to pass the last shot. It wasn't even a shot. He was trying to pass it with no time left.
Well, you think just because it resulted in a dunk, they're going to be more prepared. They kind of got caught in the switches there, near the top of the circle, top of the key, and it created a. But come on, they're going to be prepared the second time. That needs to be used as a decoy or something. But anyway, all right, Max, come on, pile on. Here's your chance. You hate Tatum. Let's go.
I've been called a hater. I would say I'm a critiquer of him.
No. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay. Well, this is what I talk about. What big moment has Jason Tatum created? He hasn't won Finals MVP last year. He wasn't really great.
The award. Come on, that doesn't mean anything.
Okay, but let's just grade his performances, right? When it's really mattered. Has he been the one who really steps up? I think Jaylen Brown is just as influential to their success. I just don't think he's a real leader in terms of what they do. It's not as he goes, the Celtics go. It's kind of as everyone goes, the Celtics go.
He's a pretty good two-way player. Okay, the stats speak for itself. All right, he's highly productive and he's on. But the problem is when it's close, Chris, Jalen Brunson is creating much higher quality shots than Jason Tatum is. It's just that simple. He can create that space. And guess what? He's more clutch. And man,
how about the shots? How about when Jalen Brunson shoots the ball, it actually goes in the hole. It goes in the hoop. Jason Tatum, his shots aren't even reaching a bathtub. They're not even close. He threw up. I can't even. The countless. He has more air balls. He has more air balls than three-pointers made this series. He has more bricks than three-pointers made this series. And the crazy thing is, this Celtics team, they're 25 for 100. 100 three-pointers taken. I saw a crazy stat that they shot 60 three-pointers in game one. That was more than 8 three-pointers than Larry Bird shot in the 1981 season. I mean, if it's not going in, try something else. And I get it. It's just playing the percentages. They shoot 32.8% for the year. So if they had shot 32.8%, they score 15 more points in game one and 9 more points in game two, and we're not having this discussion. But, I mean, come on. I feel like when OG is guarding Tatum, Tatum is completely useless. He wants nothing to do with him. He's locking him down. But what was making me nervous is that Cat was guarding him a couple times. He couldn't get past Cat. Brunson was guarding him in game one. He refused to post up against him. So I'm not really sure what's going on with Tatum, but he looks very nervous. He looks very uncomfortable. He's not getting to the hoop. He only had 2 free throws in game 2. He only had 7 free throws in game 1. And he's not making any three-pointers. So to Max's point, I feel like when everyone's doing good on the Celtics, Tatum is doing good. But he's not the guy that's making them do good. He just kind of like, he goes with the flow, and when everyone's on fire, he happens to be on fire too. But that's not going to cut it in this type of situation when you have an alpha dog like Brunson. And wait till Brunson has his 40-point game. If that happens, who knows? If that happens tomorrow, Celtics could be looking at, hey, it could be a sweep.
All right.
It could be. It could be.
Somebody's got to stop this this bloodbath that's going on. I'll take up for the Celtics here for just a second. I can't refute.
Yeah, because Massero, but look, he's like to win. I mean, he'll front run with his Celtics when it's going good. You know?
I can't refute any of the stats because they're all accurate. Okay, so let me give you a stat. The last 5 series, they've won them all. Okay, they have led for 90% of this series. Yes. So we're not talking about a team that is inferior talent-wise. We're not talking about a team that has a awful matchup here. We're just talking about a team that's missed a lot of shots. And if they get back to making the shots that they made 32% of those threes in the playoffs, Chris, but they've made, I think the percentage was 38%, 37% in the regular season. If they just get back to making some semblance of the shots that they have made for the last 2 seasons, then they're going to be okay. They've dug themselves a hole. I don't know if they're going to win the series, but man, you guys act like they're the worst basketball team you've ever seen.
Oh, no. Well, Charlie, the Celtics are the favorite to win it all. Okay, and they're down 0-2 at home.
No, they've choked.
The Celtics fans, and look how Missoula got the job to begin with. You know, I mean, Chris, I got to go look. The easy path last year, absolute check. Yeah. You can't deny that. Okay, you can't deny it. And when everybody talks, these are champions, they've done it before, but that's as easy of a path as it gets. Okay, Thibodeau over, with an edge on the bench, check. There's no doubt. And then there's one piece that wasn't there last year, and that's Karl Anthony Towns is actually playing a little bit of defense, and he is a headache. He is a headache to deal with, and he is the Rasheed Wallace to the Pistons back in the day. The Pistons before that year, they won it all against beat the Lakers 4-1 with Shaq and Kobe. They got swept by New Jersey in the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, so he is as long as he's halfway behaving. I mean, he's a headache to deal with, and the obvious, it's close at the end. I mean, how much more aggressive is New York than Boston? How much more comfortable are they? And that's the team that's supposed to, the team that's won it all is supposed to be more comfortable in those clutch situations, and it's a complete opposite, Chris.
Yeah, they have no game plan. They don't have any set plays. They just go down and shoot threes, and it's maddening, and especially when the ball gets stuck in Tatum's hands, and he's just dribbling out the clock, and he just goes, "Oh, I'm going to do a step back 3." I would get it if the step back 3 went in say 25% of the time. It never goes in. It never goes in. The ball just gets stuck in his hands. And you mentioned Karl Anthony Towns. Who had 2 fouls in both games early? Karl Anthony Towns. Who tried to get him fouled out of the game? Not the Celtics. Not the Celtics. Right. It seems like they have no game plan to adjust to what's going on the fly. All it is, we're going to just play math and analytics and as many threes as we shoot. Eventually, they're going to go in and we get 3 points instead of 2 points.
Okay, Chris. They shot 60. They shot 20 less threes in game 2. You don't think they attacked the rim more in game 2?
Jason Tatum didn't.
Oh, I thought
In the times he did, he missed. There was a sequence where he missed a layup, Cornette missed a layup, and Tatum missed another layup.
Okay, no. You're saying like these were not. I remember the sequence. It was 3 in a row. Those were contested shots now at the rim. Those were not like wide open, uncontested threes. And my point is, this matchup against the New York is pretty good. They have problems in this matchup finishing because of the athleticism and defensive ability of New York. You don't think? I mean, those weren't uncontested layups.
I know, but if you're Jason Tatum, you're 6'8", and you're going to the hole. If you're not either finishing or getting fouled, I think there's something wrong. That's just my opinion. I mean, you got to finish strong. You got to. How about he did that dunk? He did the dunk when no one guarded him at the last 12 seconds. But how about dunking in traffic? How about get the contact? He does a lot of and he kind of falls down. And he flails his arms and complains that he doesn't get the call. How about you finish the basket or make sure that they foul you?
Real quick, what'd you think about the Derby?
There's too many misses at the rim.
What about the Derby? Any surprises?
I'm sorry, I didn't get it perfect for you guys. I really liked journalism over sovereignty. I actually ended up having the Super. I was very disappointed that it paid only $16.82.
Yeah.
I thought that the Brad Cox horse, the 3 ran really well. I was surprised how well Owen Almighty ran, and if he had hung on for 3rd or 4th, the Super would have probably paid a lot more. But no, it was enjoyable day, and it was the 2 most obvious horses in the top 1 and 2, sovereignty and journalism.
All right, Cavs line is going from like 1 to 4.5. What's that tell you? Some of these guys, at least 2 out of 3, are going to play. Who you like tonight?
That is interesting, and I obviously those guys must be playing, but I would still tend to Indiana. I mean, Indiana is a great home court. They've been playing exceptionally well. They're a solid team. It's like they're one of the most disrespected teams time and again. Even from the beginning of the Eastern Conference playoffs, they were 25-1 to win the Eastern Conference, and they're still they're still like floating on, teetering on, not that big a favorite. They're up 2-0 with home court. I don't understand some of the disrespect in these playoffs. It's almost like, I guess you just have to keep on proving it. Like, why can't someone just say, hey, the Knicks might actually win the series, or hey, the Pacers might actually win the series? Maybe I'm wrong, and the cream's going to rise to the top at some point, but it just seems bizarre that 2 teams are up 2-0, and they won on the opposing team's home court, and everyone's still saying it's going to be Celtics, Cavs.
Y'all let the Knicks have much. You're getting 5.5 points tomorrow.
Yeah, the desperate angle usually hits. It did hit the last couple of games with Minnesota in OKC, but the books have made a lot of money on the other side as well. Tell Mama Macero happy Mother's Day here from Bayou Land, okay? Hey,
how about our Tigers? How about our Tigers? 25-13, Casey Mize, 6-1. Let's go.
Yeah, if we could only play the Rockies every day, huh?
That's an easy path.
Yes. Yesterday was fun.
Thank you, Chris.
You guys have a great weekend. Thanks
all right. Yes, indeed. Chris Macero from San Diego, Vegas, Boston, all of the above. So anyway, don't forget our friends at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds, and Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060, full service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get with their long-standing staff. Ashley Bonham Donald, Mariana Broussard Haynes, Adrian Riscalata, Michael Platt, Natalie, and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Rafino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Louisiana-based since 1908 for all your business and personal banking solutions for any needs. Check out the local bankers ready to help you meet your financial goals with competitive rates, great annual percentage yields, and low minimum balances. Talk to one of the local bankers at any Baton Rouge location, corporate, Sherwood Forest, Longform Village, and Bluebonnet. You'll also find Home Bank locations in Acadiana, New Orleans, the North Shore, Natchez, and Houston. Visit home24bank.com for more information. Home Bank, member FDIC.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710. Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
Troy, y'all done counting all the money from all these money line parlays busted up in the NBA?
Yeah, you know, the parlays are always good, but we're still counting money just from everyone backing the Celtics, especially in game. I mean, you know, they were strongly bet before the game, and then early in the game, we took a ton of money on the Celtics. You know, what's the chance they're going to blow a 20-point lead 2 games in a row, both at home? People hammered the Celtics in game, and as we all know, the Knicks did it again. Now, some people did get on.
But wait, Troy, real quick. You hammering the money line is what you're telling me.
Yeah, all sides.
Also, okay. The end game. Wow. Because I was just the opposite. Yeah. You know, I bet the Celtics in game 2 minus the points, and I mean, I took 18.5, 16.5. I was because the Knicks just weren't going away completely, so I did just the opposite. But man, they even piled in with more Celtics in game. My goodness, at that premium. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, that game was, I think, the third biggest win for the sportsbook on the NBA playoffs this year. But now we did have, some winners on the Knicks. We had someone who wagered, I believe it was $225 live on the Knicks to win at 60-1, which is crazy. And that better, I think, made out with $13,000. So there's winners on both sides, but from large scale, it was a very hefty win for the book.
I'm looking at right now. It's up to 5.5 now. So maybe Cleveland's at full strength tonight.
There's a report that all three will try to give it a go. I think Mobley's the questionable one because it's an ankle sprain.
If it's 5.5 on the road, Max, I say all three are playing. Yeah. That's my money. Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a report. Jimmy out right here in Baton Rouge. 5.5. They ain't putting that out for nothing, Charlie.
Max is our Cleveland insider, man.
Yeah,
Adam the Bull.
Adam the Bull. Where's the meltdown? I mean, does he have a psychology degree?
He might. I will say they've questioned a little bit. Garland's dealing with a turf toe. He's been out for quite a few games.
Some kind of sprained toe. Yes, he missed the last 2 games of the first round.
DeAndre Hunter dealing with a thumb injury, dislocated. That's normally a pain tolerance thing. That's kind of where people are kind of pushing back.
Okay, but this is not the regular season.
Right.
These guys would be playing if they could be effective on the court. You don't think these guys would be hurting their team more than helping them if they tried to play through their injuries?
Some of it's pain tolerance. I think Mobley, that's the one. He's an ankle sprain. That could be a problem for him tonight.
Look, I'm not defending the NBA players in no stretch during the regular season with this load management, this BS, okay, what they do. Postseason, no. It's a completely different game. Troy, your thoughts?
No, I tend to agree. With rare cases, if it's early in the series and you're thinking long term and it's a nagging injury, maybe you take off a game. But I think there's a wild difference between the effort, energy, mental toughness between what we see in the playoffs and what we see in the regular season.
I don't think. I mean, completely. The whole league. It's a different sport between regular season and postseason. I mean, completely different sport. You see what happens when you just settle for 3 in a 3-point contest in the postseason, huh? I got some people I'll be really getting pissed off at some of this stuff. But 5.5, Charlie, that seems high, man. I mean, you talk about playing a desperate angle. Is that what we've seen so far where the public action is, Troy? Is that why the odds makers are putting it where, I mean, who needs the game more? There's no doubt. Cleveland. Yeah. Who needs the game more between the Knicks and Boston? Okay, Boston. And you see these inflated lines on the road.
But unlike Boston, who has led for most of that series, I thought Indiana was clearly the better team in game 1. Now, they stole game 2, but in game 1, I thought they were clearly the better team. So I don't think that this is not a lopsided series, but I think Indiana looks like the better unit. I can make a case that Boston has looked like better team than the Knicks for most of the series so far that they've lost. I think Indiana looks like
I thought
the better
Cleveland
team.
was a real unfocused. They didn't have a respect for Indiana in game 1. Had they had the same defensive approach in game 1, they'd have won. Well, they did everything right in game 2. They just ran out of gas, didn't have the bullets. I got one for you, Troy. You follow this one. Are the Knicks this year better than any of Boston's postseason opponents last year?
Yes.
The Knicks. This team. Go ahead.
I was going to say, am I forgetting it or remembering it incorrectly? Did the Celtics have a pretty weak path to the NBA Finals, or am I completely mistaking myself?
Miami without Jimmy Butler, are they good?
Mm-hmm. No.
Cleveland without Donovan Mitchell, were they good?
No.
The Pacers, they got there. Were they that good?
They gave it a shot in game 1, right? But it was a sweep.
Mavericks were the 6th seed out the West.
Maybe, but I mean, this Knicks team has heart, toughness, grit, moxie, talent that those teams didn't have. And this hasn't been the case for a few years, but was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago? The Celtics had a dreadful home playoff record. It was like very odd where they were winning 80, 90% of their games on the road, but it was like 50-50 at home. And we hadn't really talked about it. It hadn't been a thing, but when they lost game one, I was like, not terribly surprised because, this crew led by Tatum and Brown, had not been great at home in the playoffs. And you're not getting a team, that the travel is not bad from Boston or from New York to Boston. So,
well, guess what? You're closer to the area.
I think the Knicks are very good.
If Boston has struggled at home, the Knicks have trumped that. They've been flat out bad at home in the postseason. And it's not just this year. It's, with Trae Young coming in there and beating them, at critical games. Last year, Game 7 against Indiana, where they really weren't competitive. In that game. They're 1-2 this year at home. Lost 2 out of 3 to Detroit at home. And the one game they won, they stole in game 1 in the first round. So, I mean, the Knicks historically, but that's going to be a hot ticket. A hot ticket. You wouldn't mind going to that Madison Square Garden for that game, huh, Max?
By the way, the Celtics 29-24 at home since the 18-19 season in the playoffs.
29-24 at home?
Not great.
No, but what's New York?
The Knicks. Well, they haven't had many home playoff games, but since 2019, 11-7.
11-7. Better than I expected. Who you like, Troy?
I like the Pacers to cover. I really like the Pacers to cover. They've covered the spread in 8 of their last 9 playoff games against the Cavs. Certainly that goes back years, but and the Pacers have won 16 of 18 of their last 18 home games.
Yeah.
So I do like the Pacers. I think I understand why it was at 4, 5.5 seems a little big. Cleveland has to have this. They can't, the number 1 seed going down 3-0. Now the Pacers are very good, but I understand why it is, but I just don't see Cleveland winning other than they can't go down 3-0, but that's not a smart betting strategy.
I think the value is all on the Knicks and the Pacers, Charlie. I mean, there's no doubt. If they weren't up 2-0, you wouldn't be seeing these numbers right now.
No, the desperation angle is very much in play here.
Yeah, very much. Troy, got a pay-per-view this weekend. Anything sticks out to you?
Yeah, so the 2 main fights, both titles, we have Bilal Muhammad against Jack Della Maddalena. That should be a really good fight for the welterweight championship. Muhammad hasn't fought in roughly a year, and Maddalena I don't think he's ever been defeated inside the UFC. Muhammad is minus 190. I think this fight goes the distance. That's kind of Muhammad's MO. I think it's a little bit closer than, what the odds are indicating. And the co-main is a stay away for me. It's Valentina Shevchenko, longtime stalwart champion in the women's flyweight. She's facing undefeated Manon Fiorot, who is minus 125. So the champion's an underdog. But, Shevchenko, had probably defended her title 6 times in a row and then finally lost a freak submission, got her win back in the rematch. And she's making her first defense after gaining her belt back, but she's getting up there in age. The one I actually do like, it's in an undercard bout, but it's Modestas Bukauskas versus Jan Kutalaba. And Jan Kutalaba is a crazy man. His fights are ridiculous. Sometimes they had an eye pokes or DQs, random finishes. He rarely goes the distance. Bukauskas has won 6 of his last 7, and his last 4 fights have failed to go the distance. I do like the fight not to go the distance. It's at minus 240, which is way too short for me. But I also like either fighter to win by KO, TKO, or DQ. And Kutalaba has 3 DQs in his career. And that is a much shorter minus 139. So any fighter to win by KO, TKO, or DQ in Bukauskas versus Kutalaba, kind of down on the card, but it's at minus 139, which I think is a good price.
Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macker. That's MACHIR. Take care of Mama this weekend, brother. Happy Mother's Day.
Same to you guys. Thanks.
All right. Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance. That's AC, heating, generator installations, maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC heating companies since 1980. Factory authorized dealers for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, Rheem Products, generators, authorized dealer for Generac and Cummings, covering both the Metro Baton Rouge area and the New Orleans areas. You hear our show, they cover you. Baton Rouge staff and office into totally separate New Orleans staff and office. Total maintenance. Again, service today, every day means that AC unit breaks down, same day service. You'll never sleep hot. Support the folks who support us here live at lunch. Total maintenance, 480-1000, 480-1000.
Live at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here, and we got a massive weekend on deck, okay? Maybe you're going to be hosting some sort of watch draft party. Maybe you're fired up for the massive series in the box. Either way, what you need to get ready for the weekend is at Rouse's, Louisiana, from the original Brick Up. Okay, nobody understands Louisiana fandom better. So all your drinks, all your supplies, all your food, and you can buy this food, the platters ready to go, or you can put them together yourself. It's Friday, which means they have their seafood hot plates, $9.99 for a styrofoam box that you can stuff full of the most delicious seafood you can imagine, okay? And if you want some crawfish, because it's a perfect day for it, you can buy and burl them yourself. Just get into Rouse's and let's have ourselves a weekend. Remember, Rouse's Supermarkets, Louisiana, from the original Brick Up.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank, Louisiana-based since 1908 for all your business and personal banking solutions for any needs. Check out the local bankers ready to help you meet your financial goals with competitive rates, great annual percentage yields, and low minimum balances. Talk to one of the local bankers at any Baton Rouge location: Corporate, Sherwood Forest, Longform Village, and Bluebonnet. You'll also find Home Bank locations in Acadiana, New Orleans, the North Shore, Natchez, and Houston. Visit home24bank.com for more information. Home Bank, member FDIC.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. A personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge, or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
So the weather here ain't great at the moment. Steady rain. It's supposed to stop around 5 o'clock. That's if you're wondering about the baseball game tonight.
What's Max say?
Yeah, Max is our
Come on,
weather guy. He's usually
Charlie's weather guy now.
Well, we just got to make sure the lightning stays away. I think
Yeah.
that's always a big problem. 10 miles away, it'll just delay this till
Tennessee
oblivion.
ended at what? 1:30. You were there, right? To the end.
1:17 local time.
Yeah.
1:17 a.m.
They will try as hard as they can to get this thing in tonight, so they don't have to play a doubleheader tomorrow.
Got a tarp, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and at 5 o'clock it goes down considerably. So we'll see. I'm hopeful. Starting on time might be a challenge if it doesn't stop raining until exactly 5 o'clock. But the field drains really well.
One guy's pulling for rain. Two guys. Palm area, Missouri. They're pulling for rain.
Yeah.
Palm areas. That train has come off the track, Jack.
They gotta play. They gotta play 2 games today at Auburn.
And then they're going against the A's tonight.
At 2 o'clock actually, because they're gonna play 2 games today.
What's the line on that?
They don't have it
600?
because it's a doubleheader. But
what would you? By the way, what's name was minus 3,000 in an SEC baseball game
to Texas A&M.
That's a high, huh?
Against Missouri, gotta be.
Yeah,
Gotta be.
yeah.
If there was a line in the game, I'd say it's minus 600.
1-30.
Yeah. Hour number 2, straight ahead of Rafino's 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no 2 situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
If you're searching for the best burgers in the game, find them at Twin Peaks all month long. It's National Hamburger Month, and these seasoned, smashed, and seared burgers are waiting to be discovered and paired with ice-cold 29-degree draft.
Hello.
Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. He's out there somewhere in the world. Maybe even your local sports book.
Can anybody help us?
Let's bring in Bruce Marshall.
And we welcome you back in here at Rafino's Live at Lunch. Bruce Marshall joins us from Las Vegas. Bruce, how you doing?
Buongiorno.
You following the Pope race pretty closely, I understand.
Yeah, I understand Villanova's nil just went up about 10 times in the last day. So there you go.
Jimmy thinks that they can bring Jay Wright back to coach the basketball team now, that they got a Villanova grad.
Well, if the Vatican's going to start kicking in on the nil, then Texas is going to have a rival here.
They finally have somebody that's got a bigger bankroll than them, the Catholic Church.
There you go.
A little bit further than Texas's budget. Maybe they could help the Celtics out or the Cavs. You know, either one of these teams could use a little bit of assistance right now. Where you been on these two series with the road teams taking the first two games?
Yeah, Indiana there. I've been missing here on the Celtics, but I think, you know, to digress here just for a moment on the Celtics and to talk about what has happened here, and this requires a longer discussion than the 30 or so seconds I'm going to spend upon it. Mm-hmm. But this 3-point craze and analytics, and we've talked about this before, but where did this really all begin? And it's obviously has to do with the 3-point line, but that's a subject that needs more examination, and maybe someday we can do that. When the ABA introduced this in 67, and even the ABL in the early 60s, it was a gimmick. And it stayed a gimmick all through the ABA through 76. They didn't pick it up for another 4 or so years in the NBA, and it was still kind of a gimmick in the NBA. And it didn't start to change until the lower levels started to adopt the 3-point line. And that's when the game started to change at a grassroots level. And the game is played differently because of the 3-point line. And this is the spawning of the analytics, which all kind of relates to the 3-point line. And then you get to a team like the Celtics, who are the end result of all of this. And this insanity that they've got. I know they won an NBA title, you know, doing this last year. They're even worse, I think, with it this year. And when teams pass up open layups, wide open layups, to step back and shoot a long 3-ball, something is completely out of whack. And I think the Celtics have gotten out of whack. Now they could get hot again and start hitting threes, but I can't. It just, the game is played differently now. Back when I played, if I tried to think I was Louis Dampier, who, by the way, whose numbers 3-point shooting compared to these guys, he didn't shoot near as much. But back then he did. I mean, I got pulled off the court by my coach. What do you think you're doing? But now it's standard fare. And the Celtics are the ultimate example of this.
Didn't it explode, though, when the Warriors won the title? Because the 3-point line's been around since 87 in college basketball. But the thing was, you can't win a title as a jump shooting team until the Warriors. Now, I thought it would sort of fade because you try to copy what the Warriors do. Good luck. You don't have Steph Curry and you don't have Klay Thompson. But that's, to me, when they took the next step.
But also, it took time for a generation to grow up with the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you go to 6th, 7th, 8th grade basketball games. Every kid in warm-ups is shooting threes.
Yeah.
I've lived it. Okay, I mean, so and they're shooting almost. I would say I'm just a guess. We're talking about 10-foot goals for 6th, 7th, 8th graders. We're talking 40% shots of threes. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot, and guess what? They've gotten better. But the big thing is the regular season and the postseason. I think we've heard this before. Are completely different sports. And all of a sudden, when you're playing harder defense, those threes are way tougher, way tougher.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And you see more balance. You see guys attacking the rim more, like Donovan Mitchell and Jimmy Butler and those guys. And so, it's just and the path last year, it wasn't he was the Mavericks, the 6th seed out the West, the toughest team that the Celtics played last year. And so, man, that's one thing in a regular season, but the postseason's different. And thank God, because it's a 3-point shooting contest in the regular season. Everybody's killing the Celtics too many threes. They shot, you looked at it yesterday, 7 less in game 2 than what they averaged.
Yeah.
They just shot 40 in game 2. They shot 47, was it? 46.8? That's what they averaged during the regular season?
They shot 46 point something in the regular season.
Right.
They shot in the playoffs, it was 38, I think, percent.
So we've seen the Hawks have the number 1 seed in the regular season recently, and they weren't even a threat, in the playoffs. Now, and that's the fun thing about, we see the Rockets with the number 2 seed, and they're one and done. Okay, I mean, so all of a sudden and look, you're not going to change the sort of the gentleman's agreement between we're not playing hard in the regular season. They coach, they don't play. It's an absolute joke. But the postseason, it's a different level of basketball, and I think it's refreshing. Bruce said, no, I don't want to see a 3-point shooting contest. I love the sport, and that's not appealing to me. But I think it's pretty diverse now. And Boston,
well,
go ahead, Bruce.
Well, no, I was saying, that there is room. Old school is still a better brand of basketball to watch. And we've seen, the Knicks do more of that, or you've seen Indiana do more of that. They shoot threes too, but it's not as excessive.
Okay, but old school. We talking about when Mike Fratello coached the Cavaliers, he had 81-78 playoff games, because that's not good.
No, we were talking about when Popovich was coaching the Spurs, and they valued ball movement, and they played through Duncan, who was a big.
Yeah.
Now, he wasn't a traditional back to the basket.
You had one of the all-time greats. I mean, he's one of the best centers in the history of the league.
But they also valued ball movement. I mean, Manu Ginobili was as important as anybody on that team.
But don't you think the league is way more proficient? They got way better 3-point shooters than that era.
They certainly have a lot more of them. Yes.
I mean, they just
they do. But I mean, 43-point shots a game. I mean, it's absurd. I invite anybody to go back and watch. Go back on YouTube. Watch the Celtics play in the 1960s. Watch the Knicks play in 1970, 69-70. Watch the ball movement. Watch Jerry West. Watch even Walt Frazier. Certainly watch John Havlicek. They played the game differently. The game was played a bit differently. The guys now, it's changed. And I think that's my bigger point. All the stuff you guys say is correct. The Warriors, the Celtics, and all this evolution of it, but it's all part of the way the game has evolved, because the 3-point line, and because it's a generations with an S now have grown up shooting the three. The game is played different. A quick last thought. Imagine if football decided 45 years ago that we're going to start awarding 9 or 10 points for scores 30 yards or more. I mean, that's not a direct analogy, but it's somewhat related. And that's how much the 3-point line has changed the dynamic of basketball. And this is 40 plus years now, but I mean, this is what's happened in this past span of time.
Okay. So what would you lengthen the shot? Would you widen the court? What would you do if you could change it right now? Because you can't change the generation. Just go to a gym, Bruce. Everybody shooting threes is 12 years old.
Here's what you do, Jimmy. You put you keep the 3-point line, maybe move it back a little bit, but extend it. It doesn't extend to the baseline. Extend it out to the benches.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. You can't sit in the corner and shoot.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Like that.
I'm fine with that. Absolutely. There's no corner threes. I'm fine with that.
That's
Yeah,
no, I'm telling you, dude, that would change the game for the better. So I'm not for eliminating the three. I liked the three in the ABA when they had it, but it was sort of a gimmick. But this is what I think they've got to do here: alter the 3-point line. They may do that in FIBA now. I'm not sure, but put it out toward the bench, not toward the baseline. That's where the 3-point line should end. And I'm telling you, right there, the game will start to look more appealing if you do that for 3-point line. That's a pretty simple adjustment, but I maintain that would help.
Celtics still shot 14 more twos than they did threes in game 2. You didn't think that adjustment, and when they tried to finish, they had some shots blocked, 3 straight shots. Some might call them layups, or they were highly contested because they didn't draw iron any time. You don't think this matchup, they have a problem even when they get a little space going to the goal, finishing with this matchup defensively that the Knicks provide?
They might. I mean, that might be a problem. I mean, I think they should have shot a few more twos than they did, because a lot of times, I mean, they did have an open lane there, and the Knicks are doing a good job defensively. Having said all this, I still think Boston can come back and win this series. I mean, they got up 20 in each of these games, and they couldn't hold the lead. I mean, that is very, very rare. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston came back and won this series.
Who do you think's going to win?
I think, and I still think Boston's going to win this series. Yeah, I still do, because it's the three, but it's also, I mean, Tatum and Brown cannot continue to not produce like this. They're too good. And the Porzingis factor, we'll see what he can do. But I still think the Celtics can win this series. But it's sort of a different argument about the threes though, and the Celtics are the extreme example. But guys, can you remember a team blowing back-to-back 20-point
no, it's
like
never
that?
happened. No, nobody can, Bruce. But I mean, it's the crazy thing though is the team with the championship is maybe as a little hollow or light because the path was easy. In Miami didn't have Butler, and then Cleveland doesn't have Mitchell. Even though the team with the title doesn't usually cave like this in a crunch when it's tight. I mean, if you're watching the games, there's no doubt who's more comfortable, more aggressive into the last 2.5, 3 minutes game or overtime between these Knicks who never won anything and the Celtics who are the defending champs. I mean, where in sports history do we see this? Huh?
Well, that shot selection you mentioned, but I maintain down the stretch. I mean, it's skewed worse for Boston here. I mean, they're taking too many threes late. And you saw that drive. I mean, Tatum went straight to the hoop that when they went up by 1 with 12 seconds left the other night. Lane was open for him, and he went right. He finally figured it out. Let's just go there. Let's get the lead. We'll see. They're going to have to be a lot more selective in the last 4 or 5 minutes. But boy, the nerves are going to start to rattle some if they're up 15 again, and the Knicks hit a couple buckets in a row. They could still blow. I mean,
well, and when Tatum
uphill hill.
When Tatum gets a wide open three and his defender stumbles and he's basically got time to load and set, it's almost like zero defense. I'm sorry. I mean, I got to take those. Not all threes are created equally. And to settle for threes when you don't early in the shot clock, when you have a guy that's contested. No, we don't want early shot clock contested threes. But there's sometimes when it's wide. Yes, you got to take it. I mean, I like a guy like Pritchard. Yeah, I want him shooting the wide open threes. I don't want him shooting 8 feet behind the arc early in the shot, which he did later.
Right.
In the game.
Not all threes are, like you say, not all threes are created the same. And I'm not saying that it's all bad, but I mean the excess of it and passing up, open layups to shoot, 5-6 feet beyond the arc. That gets a little crazy.
First, I got to ask you this too. Okay, so we bid out picks in the games, but in the mobile betting era, and it's like we've got some clubs in our bag that have been added for the live betting or prop betting or half and quarter betting. All 4 game ones were run by the visiting team. Okay, the desperate spot, the bounce back, the zigzag, whatever you want to call it. They went 2-2. Minnesota bounced back down one. They won and covered. Oklahoma City bounced back and won and covered. Boston lost game 2. Cleveland lost game 2 when they were big favorites. But in the first half, if you bet the first half, you're 4-0 in the bounce back. Something to consider moving forward. I'm looking back at our form. What we missed and we didn't. I mean, as far as that team coming out to start the game, electric. Just like Minnesota did 13-0 last week. Cleveland, when they lost, they're up 11 at half. Boston was up 12 at half. The teams that lost the final score.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a proponent of the zigzag. I used to write about it a lot, and so I agree with that. It's also the game 2s are the best spots for that historically have been when the home team loses game 1 and in game 2. The zigzag often starts to zig and zag once you get beyond that. But in these game 2 spots, absolutely, especially if the home team loses in the first one, that's when the zigzag has worked. And it didn't. And the first half, that to your other point, yeah, it seems to reflect more in the first half for sure in these game 2s. So we may have to wait till the next round to get the best, another chance at that. But it is worth considering, sure.
All right, we got 4 game 3s. Who do you like?
Oak City is going to win. I think the zigzag ended in this series in game 2. I think Oak City is going to end up taking out Denver here. It's just the depth. And I mean, all the guys contribute there to certain degrees, and you got SGA who can do magical things. I know the Joker is the Joker still, but they're going to need a couple from around, whether it be Christian Braun, whether it be Porter, whether it be Gordon or Westbrook off the bench, and that Westbrook is about the bench there for them. I think they're going to need at least 2 of those guys, and hope Jamal Murray is hot to have a chance to hang with Oak City. I still think this is the best team I've seen all year. The depth is great. They do play some defense. They can do it all offensively. I think they probably get there. I also, the number has been going up on this Indiana-Cleveland game tonight. For the last 2 months, Indiana has played, they've got a better record than Cleveland. Now, I know Cleveland geared it down the last month there, and they lost some momentum, but they've got some injury issues here. Indiana has got a swagger about it, and the spread is not really respecting, what they're seeing in this series. They've also beaten Cleveland 5 of 6 this season. One of those was right at the end of the regular season, but this is a pretty big slug of points that Cleveland's got to lay in the road, especially maybe not, we'll still see Garland, Mobley, Hunter. I think Indiana is pretty live there. I don't know what to make of this Minnesota Golden State series. That one, when Steph comes back, I mean, when Golden State loses, they could lose by a big margin, and we've seen that in the past with Golden State, though they are pretty scrappy. Overs, though, continue to do pretty well here. They're on a 19-7 run into tonight, so that's something to consider as well. I think both these games, I might look over. These are 2 of the higher totals in this round here, but Oak City and Denver have been clearing this. Oak City's scoring about 129 per game against Denver the last 5 times they've played them, so I think they can probably clear that low 230s tonight.
First half, the 2 teams down 0-2. Cleveland is -3 and Boston is -4. They've inflated those numbers a little bit, anticipating, so we're not the only ones. And Cleveland, you want to say it's a desperate spot. 68% of the tickets on the Cavs minus the points, 68% of the tickets on the Celtics minus a point. So they're still going down with it. You want value or you want desperation? Charlie?
I'm gonna take the desperate teams.
You can take the desperate
I'm gonna
teams.
take the desperate
You lay in the points on a row with the Celtics and the Cavs.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. There you go. All right, Brucey. With the Golden Knights, are they singing the blues in Vegas, huh?
Yeah, I'll mention the blues. I mean, I'm still singing the blues after the Winnipeg series because my 40-1 on the Blues to win the Stanley Cup went up in smoke. Yes, they are singing the blues for the Golden Knights. Listen, Edmonton, this is incredible what they've been doing. It's a different team from the first round, the first 2 games of the first round against the Kings. And how about Cal Pickard in goal? I mean, this guy has a shot to win the Conn Smythe, which would be the biggest odds, I think, ever for a guy winning the MVP of the playoffs. He's 6-0 since they put him in goal. and he's offered some steadiness back there that nobody really expected. I mean, they were sort of desperate when they took Skinner out after game 2. So there's a lot going on with the Edmonton right now, but I also think Dallas could sweep out Winnipeg, and I think Dallas is going to win that series. And speaking of Conn Smythe, that's Mikko Rantanen's award to win right now. He is on a roll like I've rarely seen for Dallas, changes the dynamics, and I think the Stars are going to win that series. I think they might win tonight. They're getting a good price. They're better than Winnipeg, and right now, I mean, this is back in October, November, that's when Winnipeg built up that lead in the division, and since then, I mean, Dallas has played about as well in there. And we know Winnipeg in the playoffs, so I'm going Dallas.
Yeah, it's the same Oilers goalie that gave up the 2 in game 1 at the Golden Knights in like the first 5 minutes and shut them out the rest of the way.
Yeah, Pickard's been in there for Edmonton since game 3 of the Kings series. So he's they're 6-0 with him starting. And I keep thinking Knobloch's going to pull him if they lose a game, but they haven't lost with him in there, and he's playing pretty well. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Playing pretty well. It's a major upgrade. I mean, just look at the numbers. I mean, that's been the big, and it's not just on the goalie, but it's also on their lack of defense. I mean, they're an offensive-oriented team. Even I know that about hockey, but no. I mean, they 6 in a row now. I mean, they looked like they weren't even going to be competitive against the Kings to start out that series.
No,
and
right.
It was a game 3,
right.
Game 4. They got that late goal to get into overtime and won it.
Yes, I mean those two. This is a totally different team. They're a lot tighter at the back, and the big guns are starting to fire. And getting Evander Kane back has helped because down. I mean, he's playing on the third line now, but it's not just the McDavid and Draisaitl line. The Kane line is being pretty productive too. Edmonton, I think, is going to win that series, and it's going to be Edmonton and Dallas in the West to see who gets to the final. I can't wait.
Looks that way. Brucey, happy Mother's Day to Miss Marshall. Okay, they put up with you and all your travels and all that, and all your sports watching. So take care, Mom, for this Mother's Day.
Yeah, that's for sure. I will.
All right.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, too.
Yes,
okay, thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate it, as always. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank. At United Community Bank, your business is our business. We support the hardworking folks behind local business. From initial startup loans to ongoing planning and assessments, United Community Bank is here for you. Our great team of bankers, Prentice Wilkes, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Rafino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here, out here at your Rouse's Supermarket. And check it out, guys. Mother's Day coming up this Sunday. It's time to treat mom to something special. And right now, Rouse's Market has Chairman Reserve 100% premium USDA Angus Choice whole beef tenderloin for just $14.88 a pound, guys. That's a saving of $5.11 a pound. And Rouse's Butchers cut it, wrap it for free. You want some fresh blueberries? Pints of blueberries, 2 for just $4. That's a savings of $5.98. And live Maine lobsters, just $16.99 a pound, steamed free. While you shop, save $8 a pound. Happy Mother's Day from Rouse's Markets. Let's have ourselves a weekend. And look, if you're going to watch the game, you're going tailgating, you're having to watch party house, all the food, all the drinks, everything you need at your supermarket. That's Louisiana from the original brick up. That's Rouse's.
The Live at Lunch with Ottenhanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Patiol at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat. Snow Seafood and Steak, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soups, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
6:30 tonight, weather permitting, at the box for LSU and Arkansas. This matchup of top 5 teams in the country. Arkansas, pretty much, I think, the best team that LSU has played. LSU played Texas at Texas, but I think not just the results from last weekend. I think Arkansas is a better team. They beat them 3 straight times, but Texas is without their ace now. So I think this is the best team that LSU has played. Zach Root tonight for Arkansas, the lefty. Last week against Texas, pitched one of the best games in the conference all season. He threw 8 shutout innings and only allowed 4 base runners, struck out 11. Thing is with Root, though, he's either been spectacular or he's been pretty bad, and there's been evidence of both in his recent starts. I gave you the one against Texas. The 4 starts before that, this is Florida, A&M, Georgia, and Missouri, where he surprisingly didn't pitch all that well. He gave up 15 runs in 19 innings. You go back before that, he threw 7 2/3 shutout innings against Vanderbilt, and he threw 7 strong innings against South Carolina. Before that, he gave up 7 runs and didn't get out of the 4th against Ole Miss. So he has run hot and cold. Which one are you going to get tonight? Well, he's left-handed, and this has been a big problem for LSU. We've got enough of a sample size now with the Tigers to know that they have struggled against left-handed pitching. Against Tennessee, they were 3 for 36. Against Auburn, they were 7 for 39. Against Alabama, they were 7 for 33. And they struggled last week against Texas A&M as well against the left-handed pitchers. So he's a lefty. They have got to come out of that slump and break the trend if they're going to get this series or get game 1 for sure. They were 11-49 in the series against Texas against the left-handers as well. Arkansas's numbers are phenomenal. In conference play, they hit 20 points better than the second best team in the league, which is Mississippi State. LSU down in 8th position in batting now. This slump has really run better than a month now for LSU. The pitching numbers are about equal. LSU is 2nd in the league in ERA, and Arkansas is 3rd in the league in ERA. The fielding percentages are also almost identical. Arkansas is 2nd in the league. LSU is 3rd, just percentage points behind that. Arkansas on the road in the league is 7-5, so they're a little bit better than 500. Prior to that sweep against Texas, they had lost 3 straight series. They lost 2 out of 3 against Florida on the road. They lost 2 out of 3 against Texas A&M at home. They lost 2 out of 3 at Georgia on the road. 5 of their wins in league play. We have to start looking at this because 6 of their wins in league play. We have to start looking at this because these teams have been so bad. Oregon, South Carolina, and Missouri. And I'm fascinated to see what the committee does here in a couple of weeks when they're taking into account all of these SEC teams that have game records within 2 or 3 games of each other for a 30-game season. And what is the Missouri tax going to be, or even the South Carolina tax? Missouri's historically bad, and South Carolina looks like they're skidding to the finish line. So are those teams going to be penalized for winning games against those teams? You can only play who they put on the scheduling conference play, but these are going to be for South Carolina, you're now into the Q2 range, and for Missouri, you're Q4. I mean, playing Missouri at this point is not that much different than playing a SWAC or MEAC team. I mean, it's really not. It's that bad. So I don't know if they're going to get taxed for that. Good news for LSU is Anthony Ianson and Cade Anderson have been about as good as you can get over the last 3 weeks. They look to be getting even stronger. They're 2 of only 4 pitchers in the Southeastern Conference that have over 100 strikeouts for the season. And there's an advantage for LSU in Game 2 with Ianson going against Gage Wood. The right-hander for Arkansas is a really strong pitcher, but he is still working his way back from the injury. He missed almost 2 months in the middle of the season, so he's only thrown 14 innings. His pitch count probably be somewhere. Hunt did a piece on this earlier in the week. Came out yesterday, I think, actually, that they look to get him up around 70 pitches. So maybe 5 innings tomorrow for Gage Wood, and then neither team has announced a Game 3 starter. So, going to be a terrific series, I think, and I think LSU's got a lot of I think they'll be feeling good about themselves coming home. Exams are over. They typically play a little bit better after that happens. A lot of the ex-players talk about that. So, going to be an electric atmosphere.
Arkansas 7-5 away from home. So how did they build it? They won 2 out of 3 at Oxford, swept Vanderbilt earlier this year in Nashville before dropping their last 2 on the road, 2-1 to Georgia, 2-1 to Florida on the road. I don't think it's fair to compare Texas and Arkansas because LSU played Texas on the road, and now they're hosting Arkansas. And home field advantage has made a difference this year in the SEC and SEC baseball. The other thing is, it's not as emotional of a game as it is in basketball and football. So we don't have these kind of emotional letdown spots in baseball as much. You've seen it in baseball. It does apply this year. You saw a highly emotional series. All 3 games were 1 run in Austin that Texas beat Texas A&M. And then they didn't go to Arkansas and lose. They got, hammered. What was the composite score for those 3 games? It was ugly. Yeah. Just beat down. So now, if you watch any of the games in Fayetteville when they beat Texas like that, that was an emotional atmosphere there. And so LSU catches them, in sort of a emotional letdown spot. So that's it. And listen, it's just there are no unbeatable teams in baseball. In college baseball this year. It's just Tennessee is not nearly what they were last year. Championship hangover, whatever it is. they are sliding and may not even host right now. They're certainly in danger. You're talking about Arkansas might be the best team they've played. They lost four series, 3 series in a row, 3 in a row. Yep. Okay. Texas was out there ace, and they just didn't lose. They weren't competitive. Competitive.
That's the biggest reason it's not fair. That's the biggest reason it's not fair to compare.
LSU's a top 8 national seed right now. You think they're far from, they're not hitting anything.
Yeah.
So Clemson, we thought, okay, man, here's a team, making a real charge. They go to Raleigh and get killed. Raleigh goes to Coral Gables the next weekend. They get swept. So it's just who's great, who's on. There's a lot of competitive teams, and you might have to look past that 3, 4, 5 and maybe take a peek at, is Miami worth a shot at like 40 or 50 to 1? This could be one of those Ole Miss years where a real shot makes it.
Yeah,
wins it all.
I'll tell you who you're getting better and better odds on, or you should be anyway, because they're in a slump. Is Tennessee. Tennessee can hit with I think just about anybody, and they've got 2 ace type pitchers in Liam Doyle and Marcus Phillips. Problem with Tennessee is it falls off dramatically. If they stay in a winner's bracket, I think they can slug their way out on a Sunday in a regional, and then you get to a super regional, you might not have to get to game 3. They're dangerous. But if they lose this series to Vanderbilt, they may not host. They'd be one of the scariest 2 seeds you've ever seen in your life if they have to travel somewhere. They're right on that hosting bubble right now.
Tennessee's second choice.
Are they still second choice?
Second choice.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
they
might be a little longer odds, but I mean, that's not. I'm talking about past the top.
I didn't
10,
realize
Charlie.
they were still second choice. That surprises me, given
Tennessee's the
how they're playing
defending
right now.
champ. Tennessee's got the branding in it. I mean, we're talking about team might not even host is the second choice.
If they go on the road, I can't imagine that they would stay at second choice. But yeah, okay, that surprises me.
Arkansas is a favorite. LSU is third choice. But I'm talking about getting into teams like Auburn at 40-1.
Yeah.
I mean, is Ole Miss going to catch some? Where's Miami at 100-1? Right now after they swept, on NC State. I mean, I'm talking about a shot, man. I'm talking about beyond 30-1.
What are you getting on Oklahoma? Where's Oklahoma?
Oklahoma is.
You get a big number on them?
Where the heck are they? Alabama, Tennessee, LSU, Georgia, A&M, North Carolina, Texas, Virginia. Where?
Let me explain why you looked that number up. Because Oklahoma right now has got to travel. Okay. Now, if they get
Oklahoma's
hot,
90-1.
90-1. Okay. This is an interesting team because they've got a little bit of offense, but they've got Kyson Witherspoon.
Absolutely.
And if they hold right now, they'd have to travel. Now, if they go beat Texas 3 games next week, they get into the hosting conversation. But let's just say that they're a 2 seed somewhere. They would be outside of Tennessee. They'd be the next scariest 2 seed, because if they held Witherspoon in game 1, if they were playing a 3 seed and they decide to roll the dice, they win that game 1, they get Witherspoon, they would be a road favorite in a regional, okay, which you almost in a marble game, which you almost never see, and you'd have Witherspoon going. You get into a winner's bracket, you get out of there. You'd have a decent shot.
I don't know how they would do in the College World Series. So if you want to take that part out of it, where they get to Omaha,
just to win the regional,
plus 650 to get to the College World Series.
Okay,
Oklahoma.
Yeah,
that might be a better.
That's
way
that's a much better. That's a much better.
I think you got a shot to get a real, beyond the from the kind of the pack to the elite teams. The elite teams aren't as elite as they usually are.
No, there's.
We just went through them. I mean,
right.
So a team like Arizona is hot.
If Texas still had Spencer, I'd feel differently about them. I mean, 19-2 in the league before they lost him. They're still stout.
They're still,
but without him, it shakes up their whole pitching rotation. Riojas got to go to Friday nights, and they're just not the same team.
No question. No, don't forget our friends at Los Reyes Mexican Grill. Yes, indeed. Got a great lunch menu. That's available from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So got sort of lunch portion served, which is plenty enough, man. Different tacos of the enchiladas, or got a little combination platter that we do with the tamale enchilada in taco. Talk about really good stuff. Everything is fresh over at I had the Supreme tacos last time, man. But you talk about really good fajita chicken Supreme tacos with the pico de gallo, jalapenos, queso fresco. So really good stuff with the rice and beans. You could get the refried beans or the black beans. Brisket tacos are outstanding. Tacos al carbon, you name it. And we even have the Mexican pizza, which is outstanding as well. Great margaritas. Don't forget our happy hour is 7 days a week, 2:30 to 6:30 at Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee, right across from Mike Anderson's from just off of Nicholson.
Live at Rafino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new go-to pizza joint in downtown Baton Rouge is Town Square Pizza. Town Square Pizza, located on North Boulevard across from the courthouse, right next to Jolie Pearl, is the perfect in-and-out destination when grabbing a quick workday lunch or visiting local attractions on the weekend. Town Square Pizza, you guessed it, square pizzas are consistently flavored, cooked perfectly every single time. It's as simple as that. Town Square Pizza, downtown.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Louisiana based since 1908 for all your business and personal banking solutions. For any needs, check out the local bankers ready to help you meet your financial goals with competitive rates, great annual percentage yields, and low minimum balances. Talk to one of the local bankers at any Baton Rouge location, Corporate, Sherwood Forest, Longform Village, and Bluebonnet. You'll also find Home Bank locations in Acadiana, New Orleans, the North Shore, Natchez, and Houston. Visit home24bank.com for more information. Home Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Still don't have anything from Mom for Mother's Day. Get down to the Thibodeau store or the Pierre
Come
Card
on,
store.
Charlie.
Get some
You're
of that
not
Cypress
been to the
furniture.
Thibodeau store yet.
I
Get
have.
Josie her swing.
We got Cypress swings, we've got benches, we've got rockers, we've got gliders, all of this custom-made Cypress furniture available at
Get her a
both,
Sharpie, too. She can write down her plays on the bench.
Yeah,
On the swing,
yeah.
okay?
We sign it.
Yes,
on the back,
yes.
all autographed.
See you, Mr. Curtis. Take
autographed
care. Stay
versions.
dry, buddy.
The Thibodeau store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau. Online, it's doitbest.com/Thibodeau store. Get her that unique gift, and of course these will be available for Father's Day too when we do that next month. But get on down to the Thibodeau store and pick her out something nice.
Josie, I've done my best with him.
Yeah,
I've tried.
I know.
I've tried.
I'm
Max, you get your mother something, huh?
Well, I was just thinking, Charlie sold me well. I'm going to be in Homa this weekend, so I think I'm going to have to
It's an
stop
easy
at the Thibodeau
jaunt.
store and
Yeah.
get something.
It's
yeah.
an
There you
easy
go.
jaunt down there. Yeah, I'm gonna get her a nice swing. Plus, I'm gonna get my brother to cook lunch for her. Oh, that was nice, right?
You gonna get you. Boy,
I'm in
are,
charge of
I
bringing dessert.
mean, you should be ashamed
I'm
of
in
yourself.
charge of bringing dessert.
I mean,
that's it.
my
That's what I could
goodness.
do. Over the years, I've just kind of adopted this policy. I don't talk about coaches' personal lives. I just don't. Okay, you're married, you're divorced, you got kids, you don't have kids, you got custody. All of that stuff to me is off limits. Okay,
You do a whole nother podcast full time on coaches' behavior.
yeah,
off the field.
and that's just off the actual behavior. If you did it off the rumors, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't touch it. Okay, I consider that stuff off limits unless it is affecting your job.
I think
okay?
that's very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you have to put out 2 statements on university letterhead about your girlfriend, okay, now it's kind of fair game. Okay, if you actually have to mention it publicly, now I think it's certainly affecting your job enough to the point where you've got to spend time on this. Now I think it's fair game to talk about. Last week, Bill Belichick had to put out a statement clarifying his girlfriend Jordan Hudson's interference in an interview he did with CBS, which was supposed to just be to promote a book, supposed to be a real easy piece. And, well, it kind of went off the rails. Now, based on a report that Pablo Torre had on a podcast yesterday that said he had numerous sources close to the Belichick family that were worried about his relationship with her and that she had been banned from the Carolina football building. North Carolina had to issue a statement this morning saying that she is welcome at all of the football facilities and refuted the report saying that while she's not an employee of the university, she is welcome to the Carolina football facilities. She will continue to manage all activities related to Coach Belichick's personal brand outside of his responsibilities for Carolina football and the university.
Okay, first of all, the family concerns. That's not news. That's very common. Say Belichick's, I mean, he's in education, he's in sales, with the situation that's going on, what family isn't concerned?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So that's not news. The second thing is, this makes more sense than maybe a GM who the success, an NFL GM, the success of his hire is tied with his job. And maybe the GM was threatened that about his job, that Belichick would come in and just override him, or maybe when he's got more control.
Personnel, yeah.
He's got more. Well, no, just got more control than him. They might want to bring his own guy in, or maybe take over completely. I mean, job security. This guy's so strong and powerful. I might worry about my job. No, to bring ask Bill Belichick to come in for a second interview for a head coaching job in the NFL is completely unnecessary. And why are you doing it? Besides, you just don't know what the hell you're doing. Oh, Bill, tell us about your involvement. How involved we hear and think? Yeah. No, her involvement makes more sense. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it paint the picture? And you brought it to my attention yesterday, so I'll give you credit. But absolutely, this is a missing piece to that puzzle because Bill Belichick doesn't have to interview for an NFL head coaching job.
You
want me or not?
I've had more than one person that's worked in the league tell me this. The most important non-player in any NFL building is the owner. The second most important one is the head of security. We're not talking about night watchman here, okay? This is the guy whose job it is to know everything, okay? If you got a parking ticket in high school, he's supposed to know about it. And those guys, you know how they say when you go to the combine, they ask you all these questions that they know the answers to.
Right.
He's the guy that's got to know all of that, and you just got to ask yourself: did the head of security for the Falcons or any of the other teams that consider Belichick say, "Hey, look, man, do what you want. It's your team, Mister Blank, but she might be a problem." I mean, if you got to continue to issue, Bill Belichick, the absolute master of no distractions. We're on to Cincinnati.
Right.
Is allowing maybe the biggest distraction. And look, I don't care who he dates. He could date who you want, marry who you want. That's your personal business until it gets into my football program. And well, now we got to address this. They've had to address it twice in a week. We're not even in season yet.
I've got respect for the woman. I mean, she's just not taking the goods. I mean, she's just trying to. She's doing it. She wants her own career. She's just using him as a little, using his assistance.
Max, what's she doing this weekend?
So
I mean, she wants to make her own money. She just needs a little help.
I watched this whole show. Tomorrow, Miss Maine USA starts. She was runner-up last year. She's competing again this year. Apparently, she's worried that some of this backlash is going to affect her chances this weekend.
You don't say.
However, unfortunately, there was an anonymous, I believe it was a UNC staffer who said that she was the worst person they've ever dealt with, and they've worked with multiple sociopaths.
Oh, wow. You got to wonder.
Now
who
we're
would,
piling on, man.
Yeah,
Now we're
that's
piling on.
You got to wonder whose job it is to go tell Belichick that your girlfriend can't come in the building.
Well, I mean, UNC
Which
at
they're
first,
saying now that didn't happen.
North Carolina at first was applauded for creating this policy. Now they're backing up on it. I mean, how strong are they going to be? Because I thought it took some onions to okay, no, Bill, we're glad to have you, but your girlfriend can't come. Okay, well, you're going to get some pushback if not from him. It could go down a little ugly.
I suspect it will get. When she was on the field for the spring game, that wasn't the best look. When she was given directions
to practice. I mean, people. I mean, no, it's yes.
Somebody else.
She answered for him on national TV.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable to watch.
It's
very uncomfortable to watch.
Now, North Carolina is not getting what they.
No,
this is not what. But they gotta nip it in the bud now before October.
Live at Rafino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Hey, what's up, y'all? T-Bob here, hanging out at Rouse's, getting ready for Mother's Day. And check it out, guys. If you're
I'm sure she's 4. Well, they originally said she was 20 when they met. Apparently, she was 19. She said that she was born in 2000. She was born in 2001.
Well, that would make her 24 this year. She's had a birthday already.
And then
She's in real estate. She's a publicist. I mean, the girl's got a career. She's not just taking the milk,
Well, this is show Monday for the Queen. All right, Jordan, whenever you're ready.
It's rolling.
It's Charles Sandegriff. Join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch from Walk-Ons in Brewley. We'll recap LSU's big series with Arkansas. And hang on a second. It's Charles Sandegriff. Join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch from Walk-Ons in Brewley. We'll recap LSU's series with Arkansas and talk to Troy Macker from Bet Rivers. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Monday from Walk-Ons in Brewley on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine. If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. A personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
A very cool event that we'll be at tomorrow at St. John VNA. We're judging the crawfish contest tomorrow.
2:30 to 6:30, St. John VNA, 4th annual crawfish cook-off. Again, you get your tickets today. It's $30 at the event tomorrow, $35. I got raffles for rare bourbon for the men, for the ladies, spa packages. So ages 8 to 14 is just $20. Age 7 and under, 8 free, but you can sample. Last year had about 16 different boils that we're doing. So, I mean, they've got trays that you can get. It's a great deal, man. It's a great deal. So it's highly organized. Looking forward to it. It's 100% on rain, sleet, or snow tomorrow. So
okay,
yes,
I think the weather's supposed to clear up a little bit. It's supposed to clear up a little bit later on this afternoon. Hope we can get baseball in tonight as well. Thanks to the folks here at Rafino's. They're always such gracious hosts here on Fridays. On Monday, we are at Walk-Ons in Bruley. From Max, for Jimmy, for Jordan back in the studio, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Get Moss Max and less text during.
All right, you guys have a good weekend.
You too.
Thanks, Jordan.
All right, see you.
And Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour.